Hello, everyone, and welcome to the SEO news for week 19, which was last week. I've gathered all the cool analysis, articles, guides that I could find around AI and SEO, and I will be going through them today. My name is Frederick Drost, and I work for Precis Digital. Sadly, my co-host couldn't be here. He's sick, so I will have to run through these alone without his valuable insight. I'll try and see if I can keep up with the lag here. So let's just jump right into them. The first one here is another Semrush AI overview study. Again, not going to go through all the different metrics here, but one of the main ones here that I thought was interesting is a rise from 6.5% to 13.14% of queries in 3 months. So a lot more queries. I think this is on global scale is being targeted with this AI overviews. 88% of those queries are informational. So that's really what AI overviews is trying to target here. So there's a big discussion. There's more articles on this discussion in today's news section, but they're saying here that there's only a slight drop in the zero click rate post introduction. So what that means is we were targeting queries that already had a zero click rate. Like if I search for, calories in banana, right? Most of the time, I never click on a website. Google already had a snippet there. It's short answer. Boom, I'm done. And if we get an AI overview now of this, then we might actually have a little bit more nuance to the question, which might lead me to click even more, which is what they're kind of suggesting here. And I think Google also came out with this kind of data. But there's an article further down in this list that might contest this. So if you want to know a little bit more about actual industries that were impacted, et cetera, just have a look at the entire guide. A cool little search pilot case again, always featuring these. I love these. And in this case, they were asking themselves if removing the embedded map on these kind of local location pages had a negative impact. Now, you might say, why would I even try and remove them? Well, the argument was they were getting mixed up with some bad rankings or whatever. And so they argued that Google might think, because the map had, the page was for one location, but the map had other locations around it. And I think they were probably thinking, hey, Google is seeing this map and all these other locations, and it thinks it's like a multi-location page and not just for one. Kind of makes sense. The question is, how much can Google actually see of that map in an iframe, etc.? So they removed it, and it had a negative impact. So again, I think that's just an important thing. If you're doing local, having this map, Google can at least tell that there is a map, but how much is really possible for Google to see? Don't know. And this is a big one, mainly because Precis Digital, where I work full-time, is there's a lot of Nordic clients, so Sweden, Norway, Finland, Denmark, and a lot of people are now sharing screenshots from Sweden and Denmark so far, seeing AI overviews. Perhaps as a testing, Google is probably testing this slowly in those two markets. We're waiting for Norway to kind of pick up. Maybe because they're not in the Union, European Union. I don't know how this works, but yeah, I think it's an important discussion to have. And so what is the next step here? If you're in a market that never had AI overviews before, well, you should definitely start figuring out how to track AI overviews. And Href, Semrush both have tools that can at least show you which queries are triggering AI overviews in what markets. SEO Monitor as well. They're actually more granular than that. They can show you rankings as well. So figuring out what keywords actually are triggered, then cross-referencing that with your own search console data, and then you can start seeing the impact, which is kind of the next step. We've defined how we can find out what queries trigger AI overviews. So then we have to go in and say, do we get worse traffic numbers? Do we get a lower click-through rates? What's actually happening? And then figuring out, are we appearing in AI overviews? Because if we are ranking page 1 and appearing in AI overviews, well, we've actually gained some position and visibility perhaps, right? But the question is, why are we still losing the traffic? People are not clicking. If we're not in AI overviews, then we would like to be there as well. So then we have to figure that out, which is going to require a lot of testing, figuring out exactly those things. So it's a very separate project that takes time to actually achieve this. Analysis might be a bit quicker, but when it comes to actually executing it, you would have to test things and figure out things. And we can't just easily see how well you rank in AI overviews yet. We can't easily see if you're being featured. That is not an easy thing to just pull out, which means there's going to be some manual stuff, Googling yourself, etc., etc. And a lot of this is a black box that your results can change. So it's going to be hard, especially for the reporting part. But a lot of testing, you know, and we're definitely on that with our clients. But for you who is not with Precis Digital, well, there's plenty of articles, and if you follow my videos, I do talk a lot about AI overviews, how to rank in them, how to rank in LLMs, etc. So just follow along. A short tweet here from Cyber Andy here. The future of AI will be shaped by small, high-quality data sets, open source models, and strategic design of reward landscape. So what he's going for here, and this is based, he's retweeting and talking about this other read here. So if you're very nerdy and into LLMs, this is really cool things, and I think you should be following Bespoke Labs AI. So again, he's talking a lot about, you know, training LLMs, post training, etc., etc. So a little bit nerdy there, but interesting if you're trying to build tools to help you do your work. Oh yeah, AI mode is expanding. So I'm seeing AI mode in the main search bar now. So I think this is US. And AI mode was first in labs for select users. Now most users can try it, still only in the US, I think. So again, they're just expanding it slowly, which is worth noting. Is this the future of search? Perhaps. Again, Lily Ray is sharing so many of her bad results in AI overviews. Like it's still misinforming us. It's still not understanding intent, facts. It's a poor functionality, and I don't understand why they're just forcing it on us. But hey. Oh yes, this one is interesting as well. It seems like, according to Search Engine Journal, there's an analysis here. They say that a lot of these new models, AI models, are making more mistakes, so accuracy is declining. So there's some business risks. Again, at Precis, we whatever we do with AI, we always double check it. We always have human oversight when it comes to content. We use AI to speed up the process and make it a little bit easier, but we're definitely not like just telling our clients, hey, publish this AI content. That is not a good idea. And we can see the more, apparently, they're not doing a great job, even with the newer models. Could it be because of quality of training data? I don't know. I don't really program these LLMs, so just worth a read. It's very interesting. Another cool tweet here. I'm trying to, when I see a good take on something that I personally like, I want to share it. I know that is biased, but I really like this Marketeer's AI dilemma from Cyrus Shepard, who's also worth following. So he's talking about how traditional content marketing is going away, being replaced by AI answers. Companies still need traditional content marketing to help rank in AI answers. So the only guaranteed winners are the gatekeepers who control the answers, Google. So I really, I think that's a good take. And I really love this. One of the responses was, we need cliffhanger content that drives curiosity and clicks beyond the AI summary. So if there's a summary, there should be a reason for them to click further if there's an answer. But will the AI summary show that part, right? That's the problem. Again, I just thought it was an interesting comment. Let's see here. Oh, that's a double. I put this one twice in. So let's take up the next here. So basically, remember the discussion beginning of this video, we talked about how Google has come out and said, oh, we haven't actually, the zero click rates has become better after AI overviews was implemented. And so Search Engine Journal decided to test this, specifically Kevin Indig, who's also very, very good here. He's trying to test this, and well, he's not really agreeing with that. I think one of the summaries here was definitely, let's see here. However, zero-click growth contradicts the claim that AIO consistently sends more traffic back to the web. So it seems like we can kind of test this, and it's not true. I will post, I'll post anonymized tests and data as well. So no need to worry. I mean, we'll also test this on our own clients, and it'll be all anonymous, of course, with the insights I share here. But very, very interesting to see that it kind of contradicts what Google is saying. Is Google lying a lot? Yeah, Google cares about the bottom line. They don't want to look bad. They don't want to look like they rushed a bad product out. And I think it's because of shareholders and prices. They're more interested in that than actually keeping the company selling good products and services. So that's my 2 cents, very very cheap 2 cents there. And that's a lot of AI stuff. I know, but we're going into a little bit of SEO again here. So Google has updated its guidelines on cracking down fake EEAT and deceptive tactics within the EEAT. So what could that be? Well, faking authors, using AI generated images for authors, faking diplomas, expertise, etc. So they're really focusing on that, and I think that's good that they put that in. I think it's a change that's important because people are trying to optimize for EAT, but if you're faking it, you're just doing gray hat. So this constant battle between Google saying this matters a lot for us, and then good SEOs actually create with their clients a structure and a healthy strategy that involves creating or getting unique expertise in. But the gray hats and black hats will just try and scam the system, and Google constantly has to kind of fight back. And most of the real losers here is actually the white hat SEOs trying to actually build long-term holistic healthy SEO growth. So yeah, have a look at this in detail. What do they mean by deceptive AI EAT content, fake business claims, fabricated authors, false credentials was the word. It's not something you add to content, it's earned. So EEAT, the problem with Google coming out and saying you can't add EEAT to your content, that's not true. You can, but you need to have had it before. I've worked with several clients, B2B clients, where they actually had a lot of expertise. They just didn't show Google. So we'd help them show Google and their users, and it helped them overall in all the metrics possible you can imagine. And so we did add EEAT, but it was there already, right? We didn't fake it. And I think that's the point here. Google is not being very nuanced with their answers. So the reason they're coming out with this is because they don't want gray hats and black hats to scam the system. So that's why they're coming up with these, almost too basic answers. They don't want to be too nuanced. Brody SEO as well has shared a few insights on the, I think he got access to the Google Merchant Center Next Brand tab that's slowly rolling out. It lets you control how you appear in search, similar to Google Ads or Google Business Profile integration. Apparently, it's very good. So again, early, let's see here. So basically the next steps here is what we're going to talk about. I'm not going to go into detail, just have a look at this tweet. But yeah, the recommendation is check your account, see when you have access, because once you get these new features, just be the first ones to actually start populating them and gain more control over your visibility is just important. So again, start experimenting with the new tools to improve your branded search presence as well, and use it to provide richer, more controlled customer experience when users search for your brand, right? That's kind of the takeaways here, the take action part. So thank you, Brody, for sharing this. And then this one is a bit top level, the last one here. It's why semiotics is the next big SEO lens. So the study of signs and meaning. And that might lead you into entities and related searches and what was the word we had before? Those related keywords. Sorry. It's a whole thing. I think this is quite nerdy, but still a pretty good take, which is why I'm sharing it. So I don't think this is super important. But I do like for example, this part that I wrote down here. Treat EEAT not as a checklist, but as a meaning architecture. So I thought that was interesting as well. I guess it is. It's a bit nerdy and deep dives, but I thought it was a good take. So if you're very interested in this, have a look. And yeah, that's it for the news. I hope you liked it, or if you didn't, just let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe. I'll post these every week, Monday or Tuesday, summarizing everything, giving you not only the links, which you can find in the description with short summaries, plus the links to all of these studies, but I will try and give you the context on why they matter, which is why this format is so good, in my opinion. So have a lovely day, and I'll see you next week.